Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Sunday night football matchup we got going on between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chargers are going to be home in this game. Very intriguing. Pittsburgh coming all the way from Pennsylvania all the way to LA for this matchup. So cross country, east to west coast is going to be very intriguing. So before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, don't forget to sign up for the Patreon. You see it right here. And guys, don't forget, sign up and follow me on Instagram at MessageSD. All right, for Instagram and Twitter. Now let's deep dive into this very, very good game we got going on here. Defensive minded on both sides, I would like to say. Yes, there's a hole on one particular team, but let's find the value. Let's find the gems at the captain position and work our way down. The first person we're going to start with at that captain spot is going to be Najee Harris. There's no one in this entire game that's going to get as much of surplus of touches that Najee Harris is going to get. Okay, you got to lock that in. All right, you have to lock Najee Harris in. It does. The matchup is also great if we're looking at fantasy points allowed to running backs. We're going to go right here right now so you guys can see the LA Chargers right here. They're the fourth one down, 29th ranked against opposing running backs. They're 30th in the red zone rank as well against running backs, giving up 127 yards rushing, 4.7 yards per carry, 1.3 TDs per game to running backs. Obviously, they're allowing some receptions as well. So there is a very high opportunity that Najee Harris can continue his production that he's been doing against Denver, Seattle, Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit. That can definitely go into this Chargers game. This is going to be their big X factor equalizer in this game to control the Chargers' high-octane offense. All right? So Najee Harris is going to be one of our top-tier captain options. Obviously, he's going to be our top-tier flex options as well. So if you want to choose someone else, a wide receiver at captain, you have to have Najee Harris, all right? No and ifs or buts, okay? Najee Harris, Najee Harris, Najee Harris. Next, who we're going to go to, we're going to go to Austin Ekeler, all right? Both of these run defenses are in the middle, okay? Very, very in the middle. Austin Ekeler is the lead back for the Chargers, getting a ton of rushing work and receiving work, just a level below Najee Harris. Najee Harris is getting easily 20 carries a game. Austin Ekeler is in that mid-range from 10 to 15 touches for rushing, and he's getting around the same amount in receiving. So 6 targets last week, 3 the week before, 10 against New England, 7 Baltimore. Okay, it depends if they're down, it depends if they're up, but he's going to get some looks in that receiving game as well. He's their extension of the run as well. So Austin Ekeler in this matchup. And if we want to look at running backs, fantasy points allowed against the Steelers, it's not that great as well. Even though they're currently ranked 6th, they're allowing, look at this, they're allowing 107 yards a game to running backs. That's questionable. And they're allowing the same yards per carry as the Chargers, 4.7 yards per carry. The only difference is they're not giving up a lot of touchdowns, okay? So they got that bend but don't break defense. When they get into that red zone, they hold strong. So we love Ekeler. Upside is there. Can he get in the end zone? That's the question mark. But the production will be there from him, all right? We got to have some Austin Ekeler and Najee Harris. Double up on those two guys for running backs on each side. Next guy we're going to talk about will be Justin Herbert, all right? Justin Herbert is kind of pretty much matchup proof because he's just that talented, and weapons that he has at his disposal is on a whole nother level. Between Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, he got Jared Cook, he has Austin Ekeler. I can't fade him. I cannot fade Justin Herbert if we're looking at fantasy points allowed to QBs. Obviously, it's pretty good. We go all the way down to the bottom. The Steelers are right there, ranked 7th. But the upside of this kid, we're gonna have to look. We're gonna have to look at him. We're gonna put him in the pool. He's not gonna be one of the top tier guys I'm going to fade because this is the home team as well. And they can definitely pick apart this defense with the upside that they have. Ben Roethlisberger, on the other hand, is someone we can fade. If I'm choosing to fade someone, it's going to be Ben Roethlisberger. Why am I paying this much salary when you do absolutely nothing? Look at these fantasy performances. 16, 14, 11, 17, 11. You do absolutely nothing. You give the ball to Najee Harris. You call it a day, okay? That's pretty much it. He might get a touchdown or two, but that's when he's effective in the red zone. And they're looking for Pat Frymuth for Deontay Johnson. They're not throwing it everywhere, and he's having these big 300 to 400-yard games. You don't see that. You don't see that in this, and this is not the defense to do it against. Chargers are strong in the secondary, but in the front seven, a little bit questionable, allowing a lot of yards and touchdowns to running backs, okay? That is their Achilles heel. So we'll fade, full fade, Ben Roethlisberger, all in on Herbert, Ekeler, and Najee Harris. Next guy we're going to look at is Keenan Allen. A little rough start at the beginning of the season. Now coming on a little bit strong. Mike Williams has fell down just a little bit. Some injury concerns, knee issues, we'll see. But he's still playing and getting a high target share. But the number one is still Keenan Allen. If I'm getting a guy that's going to get the receptions and the targets, we're going to put in Keenan Allen. He can be a top-tier captain as well. They can definitely utilize him in the slot and definitely dink and dunk their way down the field, okay? And then once they get to that red zone, the next guy that comes through would be Mike Williams. Mike Williams is someone that was red hot at the beginning of the season. Now hitting a little bit of a rough stretch right here, but that can easily turn around. If we're looking at a physical secondary in Pittsburgh, the next best thing to counterpart that, who's more physical? Mike Williams is one of the most physical wide receivers in the league. He has a high catch and traffic ratio and rating. If you can even look at it on Madden if you want to look at that. But Mike Williams, this is the X factor. I think if they want to be physical with him, this is when he definitely excels in those type of situations because his size and speed is on a whole nother level. I think he can have a big bounce back game. A lot of people are going to look at Keenan Allen and forget about Mike Williams. His torrid pace was absolutely insane at the beginning of the season. I think he can finish the season strong and finish with over 1,000 yards receiving and his 10 touchdowns, okay? Next guy we're going to look at, if we're choosing a wide receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's going to be Deontay Johnson. This is the lead target guy on this offense. Everything funnels through him and Najee Harris, all right? We full fade Ben Roethlisberger, and you attack the Steeler team with Johnson and Najee Harris and the next guy I'm going to talk about. That is their whole entire offense, essentially. Claypool can have a big game. He's supposed to come back, but we don't know how he's going to look in this game. But Deontay Johnson is the number one wide receiver in this offense, all right? Next guy we're going to look at. So that's going to be our tier 1, tier 2. Let's clear this out, and then we have some guys that are going to be in that next tier below, tier 2, tier 3. There's actually one more guy I want to bump up to tier 1. Let me talk about him right now. Let's just get that out the way. Okay, we're going to go with Baby Gronk. Okay, Baby Gronk is tier 1. Baby Gronk is the red zone guy for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. He has usurped Eric Ebron as the tight end, and look at this production. 7 targets, 6 and 9 last week against Detroit, and that was without Ben Roethlisberger. It doesn't matter who's playing. He's coming up big. Obviously, a big, bad fumble in that game against Detroit almost cost them a loss, but they wind up tying. Pat Frymuth in his rookie season is breaking out, and I think he'll have a very, very strong finish to the season. Has upside like he did against Chicago with 2 TDs on 5 receptions and 43 yards. I'm definitely loving Pat Frymuth. He is tier 1, okay? All right, let's see if we have another option. We have Chase Claypool. He's your home run hitter in this offense. Doesn't have any injury designation. It was a toe injury. He's going to be fully available. He's going to be opposite of Deontay Johnson. So they're going to have their full complement of wide receivers going up against the Chargers, and they're going to need it. I still do not like Ben Roethlisberger, but if you want to take a shot on Claypool, because it could take one catch. Say the Chargers defense focuses on Deontay Johnson, it can be Claypool that can get that big one play. As you can see in that Denver game right there in week 5 right here, was 5 receptions, 130 yards in the TD. His long was a 59-yard catch. Okay, so he has that type of upside. We're going to put him in the pool. Now we're going to continue to go down, and these guys are tier 3, tier 4. These are the bottom feeders. James Washington was the wide receiver 2 when Claypool was out. He had some decent looks, got a touchdown last week. You can play him sparingly in that flex position, not really looking towards that. The Chargers defense and the Steelers defense, I'm fading defenses, okay? We're going to be up like 25 to 30% on lineups with defenses. We should have been all over the New England Patriots, but that's obvious because you're looking at a team with no Cordarrelle Patterson, no number 1 wide receiver. They had no hope. Okay, that made sense. These are 2 offenses that have weapons and definitely can score on each other, and their running game is what they can lean on as well. So I'm going to fade both defenses. Jared Cook is a third option as a passing guy for the LA Chargers. He's been splitting work between him and Donald Parham. Parham has some games where he has some TDs, so you can obviously flip-flop those guys. If you don't have enough salary for Jared Cook, I feel fine with you going to Donald Parham. He's going to be one of our lower-tiered flex options at the back end because he's so cheap at $2,400, and he's just as good. As you just saw Jared Cook's numbers, now you look at Parham. He has more TDs this season. You really need him to get a TD in that red zone. That's going to be key for Donald Parham if you're going to use him. Let's see if we can find some other gems in the flex position. We can definitely go to the kickers on both sides. Either I think it's Hopkins right now or Boswell. Like I said, Pittsburgh has that strong defense, bend but don't break. And they pretty much hold teams without scoring touchdowns. Okay, that's their strong suit. And Hopkins and the Chargers are very fluid on the offensive side. Say they don't get into the end zone because of the Steelers' defense. He can kick some field goals as well. All right. Let's see if we can find any other gem down here. I spoke about Jared Cook. Ray McLeod is the wide receiver 4. Not really looking at him. Eric Ebron is the number 2 tight end. I'm all in on Freiermuth, not really looking at Eric Ebron. If you want to fill in him at the bottom, you can. But I have 2 more gems for you. So let's clear out these 2 kickers. The 2 gems we got going here will be Joshua Palmer, wide receiver number 3. Okay, if they focus in on Keenan and Mike Williams, Palmer has been coming on as of late just a little bit, getting a little bit more run, getting a little more targets. He was a high draft pick, and I think he's turning the corner. And they can have a nice trio here for the LA Chargers. Joshua Palmer, young wide receiver, very, very explosive, and has some upside. Another big body guy that can catch the ball in traffic. I like Joshua Palmer. Next guy will be Larry Roundtree. Okay, Larry Roundtree, running back for the Chargers. This is the backup. And he comes in these spelling moments for Austin Ekeler. Was able to get a touchdown last week, only on 5 attempts, but obviously they like him in the red zone. They think he can get that short yardage work, and Larry Roundtree would be the number 2 running back if I were to choose one on the Chargers, not Joshua Kelly or anyone else that they have. All right, and that's the cheapest we're going to go for this. All right, we're going to full fade Ben Roethlisberger. All right. We're going to focus in on Najee Harris, Austin Ekeler, Justin Herbert, those 3 guys, and we can build around that, okay? I think that this game is going to be very, very competitive. As long as you focus on those 3 and then build around them, you should be fine, all right? Let me know in that comment section down below if you have any other ideas, any other suggestions for my channel as well. For this breakdown, is there another guy that I did not speak about? Let me know in that comment section down below. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD. And also sign up for the Patreon, guys. Don't miss out. I'll be back with another video very, very soon. Peace out.